Michael, thanks very much for joining us. Just for those who don't know, just give us a brief introduction on Metrikus.
So Metrikus is a software as a service or platform as a service business, depending on who you speak to. We work in the commercial real estate space in proptech, and we provide a single pane of glass view for people to pull in data from various sources within a building, whether that be occupancy and capacity and indoor air quality, which is big in COVID days at the moment, or we pull out BMS data, building management system data, and energy data, and bring that in so people can see all of that data in one place that's normally locked away in silos. And then we put contextual rules around that so they can make informed decisions based on a state change, whether that be a temperature change or a fan coil unit starting to vibrate more than it should. We bring all of that in, and then we push that data back out to wherever it needs to be, whether that's via an email, a text message, or to another system to engage a workflow.
Really interesting over the time how much occupancy, wellness, well-being, and particularly that air quality side has come much more to the fore. What's the data telling you at the moment, Michael? And what are some of the key things that you've seen that have impacted or influenced your business over this time?
The first lockdown, everyone left the office. So our numbers went from 75 to 80% capacity. And no one's really ever at 100%. But most, a lot of our customers float between 50 and 70. It literally dropped down to less than 5% during the first lockdown. Then it went back up to 45% occupancy when lockdown eased. And then this second lockdown, the numbers haven't dropped back down to 5%. They've stayed at around 30 to 35%. So kind of a 10% drop from going back. And I think part of that is because people realize that not everyone needs to be in the office, but the people who do need to be in the office, they've realized they're much more productive and they have gone back. So that's the change that we've noticed. We also now push data to Bloomberg for occupancy data for the UK. And then if you log on there, you can see the charts and graphs. You can see the first drop of lockdown, then it went back up, and then it came back down. And people are coming to us now and saying, look, we need to monitor occupancy and capacity as we bring people back to the office. So we are starting to see more and more requests for that.
Are you also getting global data on some of these things, Michael? Are there differences, I guess, between either within the UK and Europe, or
Yes.
or more broadly outside of Europe as well?
Yes. So we're doing some work in India, which is in complete lockdown, really, the areas that we're seeing. So no one's really in the office. And we're doing some work in Japan as well. So, and we've got some stuff in Spain. There's no one really in those offices. They are still in lockdown. Again, in Spain, the people that are there are the people who really need to be there. So their numbers are lower than ours, though.
And just in terms of I suppose, how you're seeing these future trends going forward, Michael, what are you seeing particularly, I suppose, for technology and also particularly how that's going to be influencing the real estate side?
One of the things that's happened is in this kind of second lockdown, we've had 4 RFPs on the go. So, and they have all been around back to work. So we've already won one of them, and the others are still on the go. So hopefully we'll win those too. But the first one is helping a very large US investment bank with their back to work strategy. So measuring the reception areas, measuring their lift lobbies, when they start to bring people back, measuring their cafeteria and their canteens to ensure they're keeping the numbers at the levels that they've chosen to lower their COVID risk. We're doing a lot of smart cleaning for them now as well. So people are cleaning toilets based on usage rather than just doing it every hour, which will help in 2 ways. One is the toilets will be cleaned when they need to be cleaned, but it will also help them lower their operating costs from their FM contracts to with their suppliers. I don't think that is going to change. And we've just won another large project with a large global media company. They want to monitor everything, occupancy, capacity, meeting rooms and desks, because they want to know what their usage will be when they bring people back. So how much space do they really need? Before COVID, everyone was kind of flush, everyone had money and everyone was happy. But now, because of COVID, because the economy is starting to take a bit of a dive, people are now really trying to get right into those numbers.
Really interesting just to see how technology is increasing its role, I think, particularly post-pandemic, in terms of that coming back to work. Thanks very much for joining us, Michael.
That's all right. My pleasure. Thanks for having me, Richard.